I like Clive Owen, man.
I always thought he needed to be
here.
James Bond.
He didn't get that gig.
No.
And
I thought he would be great at it, though.
He turned it down to do the movie where
Shoot 'em up.
He finds one pregnant girl and he protects her.
Shoot 'em up.
Oh yeah, my daughter and I call him the baby saver for that movie. And
what was that movie called? I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, Children of Men.
Children of Men is the other one where he's a baby
he
saver.
He chose to make that instead of James Bond.
Wow,
and it's a good film. Damn it,
it is.
It is.
I like Children of Men. It's good.
But as I said, Hojo is here. Good morning, my friend. You want to join us? I'll send him an invite. And I'm opening Twitter. Hojo's a good dude. He helped me a lot with the Vindicated.
Yeah, I was so happy I had a Saturday off, man, that I canceled my drawing stream. We did the football one, and whenever I got done with that, I said, I got another stream at 1:30. I said, you know what? I don't have to go to work today. I'm going to cancel that till next Saturday. I might even find a different time for it. Damn it, because I like having Saturday to myself. That's pretty cool.
Speaking of my campaign.
What, is that a rhetorical question, those things? Come on, bro. You know he's happy about that.
Yeah.
We have 4 days left on the campaign, and we're at 38%. I don't know. Hey, Hojo, can I extend the campaign? I mean, it stays open, even at the end of it. Oh, you're back at the job grind? But am I able to extend the campaign? Because the holidays really messed it up. I think I should add another 2 to 3 weeks on it.
I'm not sure. That's the Fund My Comic thing, not.
Hojo works on that. He's, administrator, or whatever you call it, over at Fund My Comic. So I'm asking him. Oh, Law-Abiding Citizen. Yes.
Great movie.
Yeah, he wasn't in that, though.
Yeah, that was the
idea.
Scottish dude.
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler. Yeah.
And Jamie Foxx.
Yep. And several other really good character actors.
Law-Abiding Citizen, Clive Owen.
No.
That was
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler.
Gerard
and
Butler.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, and Jamie Foxx in that one played the woman. I made that joke because of the whole Cat Williams thing.
You have your answer. You can extend as long as needed.
By the way, the Moncriefs were here last night, Martin. It was a big dinner here, and it was date night, so I didn't really talk to him much. But at one point, Mike asked me what I thought of. I think it was Mike. I don't think it was Kevin, because Kevin talked to me about something else. Mike asked me about what I thought about what Cat Williams did, and I'm like, dude, that is a can of worms he opened.
I'm not 100% sure what Cat Williams did.
Yeah, I'm
look it up.
Too. Yeah,
it's a rabbit hole. He's making allegations that executives for shows are racist.
Oh wow!
And
really?
In order for black comedians to make it, they have to be willing to do certain things, including have to dress up as a woman.
Oh yeah,
he's probably not wrong,
right?
I don't think he's wrong at all, because he's onto something. Because he talked about Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart said he would never do that, and he's slowly growing. He's not really moving. Suddenly, he goes on a show and dresses as a woman, despite saying he would never do that. And next thing you know, skyrockets. Dave Chappelle refused to dress as a woman and quit Hollywood because they were trying to force him to do shit he didn't want to do.
Jamie Foxx has done it in the past.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, that they're trying to emasculate black men.
I don't know. It was pretty funny when he did it. He did it
Who
on In Living Color, and it was hilarious.
the
goofy looking chick.
something stank.
I can't remember exactly
What's that movie with Sharon Stone?
So great.
Basic Instinct. That was the
Basic
first time they did it. Basic Instinct was the first time. That was funny as shit.
Oh man.
Barry Krakauer. Gorilla's Random Thoughts is here. What's up, man?
My boy Jim Carrey just was a woman on that show too. I can't remember the
Yeah, I can't repeat that.
female weightlifter's name, but it was great.
Right. I like the one
funny.
where the guy wants to, or I think he does. He chews off his arm to get away from her.
Yeah. Too great, man.
In Living Color.
In Living Color. What a great sketch comedy show that was.
Jim Carrey when he was really funny.
Yeah.
Nobody
knew who he was.
Josiah Rises was talking about Jim Carrey last night, exposing what's his name again, and the Illuminati. Jim Carrey's insane, dude.
He is.
He has real serious mental illness problems.
When he was young, though, he was the human cartoon, and they just ran with it on In Living Color, man. It was so great. Yeah.
Yeah, but like so many forms of mental illness, it seemed to manifest like in his late 30s.
Yeah.
And he started having problems. And he uses doing artwork to help with it.
Mm-hmm. Art is very therapeutic. You notice?
Doesn't do shit for me, but I hear it is.
I know when I get in the zone, man, ain't nothing messing with me. I know that.
Oh my God. I'd sworn Sharon Stone was an actual woman. Oh, man.
Well, if you remember that film, it was Mike that was the female in that one. Yeah.
Yeah. He was the bitch.
He was the bitch.
So Trump is don't cheat. Yeah, I'd talk about that any other time, but I don't want to get politics.
Yeah, let's not jump into that crap in here.
Everybody privately knows where I stand on stuff. So, but anyway, so we're going to start this slideshow here.
For one of the greatest Sly movies ever. And I did not know that about what we were talking about earlier.
Andrew Vajna, man.
Mm-hmm. Vagina?
Richard Crenna. What a supporting cast this has. Brian Dennehy.
My dad used to call Richard Crenna the poor man's Gregory Peck.
He's definitely, you know what always struck me about this movie? He plays this part like he's playing it on stage. You can hear him in the back of the room when he talks. You know what I'm saying?
Even when he mumbles.
To eat things and make a billy goat puke. I mean, he's yelling every line he has.
So remind me, which Spider-Man timeline is this movie in?
Right? Oh.
Now, one thing that's interesting is this black woman, she's uncredited in the film.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess she wouldn't dress like a man.
Book ended by Stallone, First Blood here, and Brian is doing Cobra. Oh, yeah, Cobra.
Yeah, we're doing Cobra later today. Yep.
Crime is
the Cannon Film Club getting together.
I'm the cure.
That's right. The thing I always remember about that movie is the steroid eating bitches with the double axes clacking them together. I always remember those scenes. Like,
no. Nothing's more cringier than Cobra.
I don't do anything privately with Gerry.
Thank you.
This is Rambo's breaking point.
Yeah. This is an important scene in the movie.
Something breaks in him in this scene. It's so important to notice that. that this was the last thing he had left to him, was to find this old friend. And now everybody from his squad's dead.
Yeah. Cancer, right? Wasn't it Agent Orange got this guy? Yeah.
Mhm.
Ate him down to the bone.
Yeah, even the author said that the film fixed everything wrong with the book.
Really? I've never read the
which is
book.
why he changed, because Rambo dies at the end of the book, but when he goes later, he writes the sequel, the novel.
Mm-hmm.
Slasher Fred, no, he don't want to be treated as a hero. He just wants to be treated as a human being.
Yeah.
And it's this guy, clearly has to know this guy's a veteran because he's walking along with his field jacket on, but more importantly than that, he's wearing jump boots, U.S. Army jump boots, and his pants are tucked in the way a ranger would wear them.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is this guy in his office. He's got
He's
3
a Korean
medals.
War veteran.
So he should know.
Absolutely.
He's just an asshole. That's just all there is to it, folks. Sorry.
No,
he's just an asshole.
No, I wouldn't call it an asshole.
I would.
No, his friend is an asshole.
The dude with the mustache?
Yeah.
He earned his death.
He's on the force just because he's friend with the sheriff. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The sheriff is just that kind of overprotective guy that he believes he's the father of everyone. But either way, neither of them should have a badge by any strange of luck. No.
Yeah, Brian Dennehy. Yeah. So you're making the argument he's a peacekeeper. He's trying to keep bad things from happening by running this guy out of town.
Yeah. Slasher Fred, you can see that scene in John Rambo, the movie of 2008. In when Rambo is having nightmares, you can see that scene when Trotman kills him.
So in the book, Troutman kills him. Wow.
Yep. And in the movie too, but the audiences, test audiences didn't like it. Yeah, because in the book, Rambo was irredeemable.
Would have been bad for the franchise, really.
Yeah, if you if you think about it, everybody said that the movie's so violent, blah blah blah. And only one guy dies in this movie.
Yeah,
and it's almost an accident.
You're right. Yeah, pretty much. And it's his asshole buddy with the mustache, right? Yeah.
It's his own fault, really.
Right. Why is the alien from Cocoon a cop?
Yeah, Brian Dennehy is the alien in that.
That's a good
He's
one.
also the dad in what is that comedy with David Spade and
Tommy Boy?
Tommy Boy.
I just saw him in a movie called Tag, if you've seen that, which is hilarious.
Yes, I did, and I was talking about it the other day. Love that movie.
He actually looks good for his age. I mean, he really does. But my favorite role he ever did was another one where he's the sheriff in Silverado, man. Him and Kevin Kline being polar opposites in that movie. Yeah.
As much as I enjoyed that film, we lost somebody?
We lost Martine.
Yep. Lost Martin in the.
As much as I enjoyed that movie Silverado at the time, it's not a very good film.
Dude, yeah. It's
so
one of those movies that shows you every cliche in a Western. No doubt. But what's great about it is to go back and watch that movie years later and see how many stars that were in it that we didn't even recognize at the time and didn't know. Like Kevin Costner's in that movie before anybody knows who he is as the crazy
because
brother.
Costner was, he's actually in the other film that he did before
Big Chill.
Silverado.
Yeah.
Big Chill.
Yeah.
He's the dead body.
Yeah.
They were supposed to show his face. And then they cut it.
Yeah. He ended up on the cutting room floor in that one. Yeah, he was in a couple of movies before he hit it big. I think No Way Out was his big movie that
He did a
actually-
Vietnam War version of Breaking Away,
Yeah.
coming of
Mhm.
age story of friends right before one of them gets deployed.
Right, I remember
And,
that one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He did
No Way Out's the first one that I remember him in, though.
that came out later.
Yep.
No Way Out.
Mhm.
And it's a good film. I mean, him and Gene Hackman, man.
Dude, awesome.
And
I
I'd
love the
like to
dude
do
that plays
film.
Gene Hackman's assistant in that movie. He is great. Wow, he's awesome.
He
Yeah.
ended up doing several films with Costner. He's the villain in The Postman too.
Yeah, he is. Yes. Yes. You spelled tyranny wrong. He's awesome. Because I can.
So I don't know. I think Martin's coming back.
I hope he does.
Hope so too. He's got the slideshow.
Maybe
look
we
up-
shouldn't give the slideshow to the guy with the third world internet.
Jeez. You go, Animal.
And it was
Damn.
brutal.
I'm just saying the truth.
Oh, man. What is that guy's name? That's going to bug me now. Because he's also in, he has my favorite line in Armageddon. He's in Armageddon too. He's the one whose wife has custody of the kid and won't let her see him. And anyway, the part where the guy in charge of the mission pulls a gun on Bruce Willis, he's like, "Man, what are you doing with a gun in space?"
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah,
a great
Will-
line.
Will Patton. Yeah.
Is that his
he's-
name, Will Patton?
Yeah,
He's
he's
fantastic. Look, in No
been in
Way
a
Out,
ton of
he's
stuff. He's great.
fantastic. He is absolutely nuts in that movie. He's fucking great.
Yeah.
Love it. And he's great in The Postman. You know, a lot of people don't like that movie, and I'm like, dude, that's one of my favorite movies ever. Of course, you know me, I'm Mr. Patriotism, you know, and everything.
Mhm.
You know, to think that a drifter picking up a mailbag starts the United States back up again. I mean, it's just great, you know.
Like
Really?
usually, the book is better, but
Really, is the book
Yeah.
better? I know it's based on a book. I'm sure it is, but I mean, there's so many little things in that movie that I love. Like the late great Tom Petty's in it as himself. You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
so great, man. Oh, I want to
think
know
the
how
sh-
Tom Petty ended up in Seattle, Washington. Though, I mean, you know, he's up on the northwestern part of the United States at the end of that movie. I'm like, how'd he end up there? Because the man's from Florida, you know,
It's like, and he hasn't aged a day. My God. You know?
right? Must not have been that far in the future, right?
No.
I swear to God, I had to get a delivery for some cough syrup,
Really?
and yeah, and
Oh.
they took forever to bring it here.
Wow.
I ordered it like 45 minutes ago, 50 minutes ago, and it finally got here while we were streaming. So I had to go get it. And then she just called me back and said, "I need to scan your photo because of the cough syrup." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
What?
So I had to give her my ID so she could scan it.
For cough syrup?
Yeah,
That's
because it's
ridiculous.
It's alcohol.
in Missouri. We used to be the meth capital of America, and you can make meth with
You
cough
can make meth out of this stuff. Yeah, meth's made out of completely over-the-counter drugs. It's
Even
that's
though
why they put a lot of
we
this
don't
stuff in
produce
their
it much
lock
here anymore. It's mostly produced south of the border.
There's some kind of painkiller or something like that that's over the counter that they can take and just cook up into that shit.
Yeah, anybody who has the breakdowns the way he does and the flashbacks
Mm-hmm.
clearly is in the deep end of PTS.
Yes, absolutely. Big time PTSD. Of course, they weren't calling it that back then. It was still shell shock back then.
Yeah, I think it was sometime in the 70s when they started calling it PTSD. Ariel Balletta's here. Hello. Hello. Some would say.
Hello.
In fact, in the Scottish version of Gaelic, hello. is the way to say hello. ALLO. So
But-
yeah, we've lost Martin. He's not coming back.
Did he text you?
So, excuse me.
Did he
His
text you?
PC crashed.
There he
so-
is.
Oh no, there he is. There he is.
I just looked at my phone. His PC crashed.
Yeah, badly.
Wherever
Okay.
you left off, man.
I'm trying to recuperate everything.
It's cool, man.
No, it's not.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, as my crazy sister would say,
It happens.
it's all good. It's all good. And I'd look at her and go, no, it's not. It's not all good. Stop saying that.
You could have gone back where you were. It would have
Okay.
been fine, man. Yeah.
Here.
He's about to get arrested because he won't. He defies the sheriff and walks back into town after he drives him out.
I think
Like,
it froze here. Or
Just
well,
roll
for
with
me,
it,
it froze there.
I have no idea. I just work here.
right?
Yep.
I'm just watching the show. Yeah, they have a little convo in the car, and it's obvious
it's so
that the sheriff.
condescending. Everything
Yeah.
that Dennehy's character does is condescending.
Yep.
He could have been very friendly about it, but
Yep.
he chose to be condescending in the end, and that is what pisses him off.
Yep. And kind of like Reacher, he doesn't take bullshit too well.
Well, Reacher is clearly inspired by Rambo, The Fugitive, all that
Right.
shit.
Mm-hmm. He's like, this is
I
United
love
States of
in the
America,
show,
man.
in the recent season, that one of the guys from the 110th says to him or calls him a sociopath.
Yeah, and he doesn't deny it.
No, he
He
doesn't
doesn't.
bat an eye. Yeah.
Because wandering around like that, that's not normal.
In fact, I think the exchange was: has somebody diagnosed you as a sociopath? And he looks at him, diagnosed? No.
No, never
Diagnosed? No. It was a good season. I like the first season better, but it was a good season.
I'm the
I enjoyed
opposite.
it.
I was annoyed with the first season.
Really?
Yeah. Second season was better. There was way too much checkbox stuff that annoyed me. And all three of them get their big boss fight in the same moment.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Well, the part that was over the top for me in this new season is the helicopter scene where he's hanging onto the gurney.
He was, yeah. But
I'm
that's
like,
the
what
only
the
thing.
fuck? He
Okay.
would have
That's the
dropped
only
that
thing
chick
that they
50
went over the
times
top.
already.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well,
Don't spoil
don't
That's your
worry.
fault,
I'm not
Martin.
giving anything away. There is a helicopter scene in it.
No, shell shock is what PTSD was called.
Yeah.
My grandfather was diagnosed with shell shock from
Yeah.
World War One.
Okay, well,
That's what my grandfather called it.
French warfare, man.
okay. Oh my God! there
You'd have
has
loved
to be
my
so many
grandfather's war
chat.
room he had in the basement of his house. Gary, you'd have loved it. He had a huge Yahtzee flag behind his desk, and he had one of those Hitler Youth knives and a helmet and a whole bunch of shit he brought back, man.
The entire thing takes place in the fictional town of Hope, but it's not a fictional town. It's a real town, but it's in British Columbia.
It's in Canada. Mm-hmm.
See you later, Red Shirt. Be seeing you.
Hasta la vista, man.
Take care, Richard.
So, good morning, Abdulio. Yeah,
See,
it's
I've
the
never seen
mustache
that one.
dude.
Yeah,
It's this mustache dude
Yeah.
who's the biggest problem.
yeah.
Mhm.
Putting a fire hose on him to clean him up. What the? Wow. I mean, you're asking for trouble. Come on.
Yeah.
Man. Don't forget to get him behind the ears.
Even David Caruso's character's like, man, this is too much.
Right. Can't you see he's unstable? Yeah.
Oh
David
yes, they
Caruso's
will.
character actually kind of saw what was coming, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did.
I remember this being one of the first trailers that I saw that really, I mean,
Hello,
back,
Ariel.
pre 80s, most of the 70s trailers, they showed you scenes and stuff, but they didn't really have narratives to them. You know what I mean? They were just showing scenes on the screen. This one, I remember seeing the trailer for this first time thinking, wow, they just showed me the whole damn movie in a Reader's Digest form,
That's a problem with trailers.
Yeah.
Is they give too much. All you should set up is the opening and where it might go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I get so sick and angry when I see the final scene in a movie trailer, and it happens far too often.
Yeah. Well, there's been some historically bad flubs in trailers, like the Terminator 2 trailer. They screwed up the friggin' surprise in that movie so bad it wasn't even funny. I mean, they showed you that Arnold was a good guy in the trailer for it. You know what I mean? It was dumb.
A question. Have we played the video for Tim?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Good to know. Good to know. Let me find it before Tim start.
I'm quiet because I'm waiting for you to do it.
I know.
Now you want to talk?
By what name are you known? There are some who call me Tim.
Doesn't he snatch his dog tags off of him?
Yes.
At one point, yeah, because he won't give him his name. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, this is where David Caruso's like, whoa, we need to report this. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah,
Well, he's in
the
the right.
mustache guy don't care. We're going to clean him up. Man said clean him up.
And he beats him for no reason.
That's because he's an asshole. An asshole.
Yeah, he's basically every redneck cop cliche.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why, by the way, he's the only character that dies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And nobody bats an eye. Not in the audience, at least.
On the Sherlock Holmes comment, that is what Reacher is. Reacher is clearly on the spectrum, too.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a sociopath. And as Sherlock said in Sherlock, I'm a high-functioning sociopath.
Oh, man.
That was an important thing that Ariel said.
Here's the part where he snaps. He sees that razor, and he's like, oh, shit.
Flashback.
Yep.
Being tortured.
It's on and popping, boys.
I've known a lot of guys like that, Ariel. God bless your grandfather.
No, I don't think it's a veteran thing. I think he's just a jerk.
Yeah,
because
he's better than everybody else. Yeah.
He likes rousting hippies, man.
Yeah, he likes rousting hippies. He's a jerk.
There was also a lot of disrespect in that period towards Vietnam veterans.
I was fixing to say, yeah, this is 82, but isn't the story?
No, it's supposed to be in the 70s.
Yeah, I was going to say the movie came out in 82, but it was supposed to take place shortly after the
74.
war, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that knife was specially made for him by an actual knife maker.
Wow.
Yeah, it's credited at the end. I think it's the last of the last one of the credits. The name of the knife smith.
So the knife was a bigger star of the movie than the black lady at the beginning of it?
I'm going to point out, too, that Brian Dennehy, back in about between 1997 and 2000, had to do a public apology for making claims about his service in Vietnam because he didn't. He didn't serve in combat. And it's stolen valor.
James Buell Lyle, otherwise known as Jimmy Lyle, in the Arkansas knife smith, who made the original knife for Rambo.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with EVS. I've noticed, man, within our community, it's really kind of split. People supporting RIPA and people supporting EVS.
Oh, God, that crap.
Oh, yeah. That's not good for anybody.
No, it's not. But you talk about two alpha dogs right there.
Sheriff was kind of a jerk. He didn't really. No, he didn't do anything until he refused to back down.
Mm-hmm.
And that was where he screwed up. And that's what Troutman yells at him about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can stop this.
Yeah. You just diffuse the whole situation. You pick him up at a gas station in a week, right?
Mm.
But no, his asshole buddy gets killed, and he's like, "Nope, this guy's mine."
And the guy dies because of his own stupidity.
Yeah, because he's a dumb shit. Yeah, thinking he's out on a turkey hunt when he's the actual turkey.
Now that was an accident. The car is slowly flipping over, but they decided to keep it in the movie.
That happens a lot more often than you think. Yeah, no doubt. It just looked good on film. You know? Shit. My favorite one's the one in the Road Warrior where that guy went head over heels off that bridge. I'm like, whoa!
Yeah,
he broke
his leg. That guy.
Yeah.
Another thing to consider when the car flips down and the horn is going on. Rambo stops and he looks back, and it is not until that he sees that the cop is that he decides to leave.
Yep.
At some point, he could even. I
think he could have killed all of these people.
No. I think he was thinking about go back and help the guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I think so too. I think he contemplated it for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, look, a lot of small towns had vagrancy laws. We had one in Fredericksburg where I grew up, and it was a city. But that's really what's going on.
Is great line. That is so awesome. I love that line.
You had to have like some towns, they would determine how much you had to have on you in order not to be considered a vagrant.
Right.
I got to go. I got something came up, so I'll see.
All right, John. Thanks for
Big Daddy.
stopping in, buddy.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Good one. Bye.
Take care. Bud.
Yeah, that happens. You're right, Ariel. That happens a lot more on older movies. Another one of my favorite ones is in the 7-Ups when that car crashes in the back of the trailer truck.
Dude.
Yeah, that stuntman was lucky to be alive, man.
Statham went down with a car in one of the Expendable in a pier. The car went into water and everything.
Jason Statham.
Yeah. The thing is, he was an Olympic diver, so that helps.
There you go.
Yeah.
You go.
And Stallone acted like it was nothing when he got out of the water.
Yeah, but how many people have died in accidents that look like it was nothing?
Right.
Yeah.
You just have to bob your head against the wrong surface.
Yeah, man.
Rambo, like Reacher, needs to be Michael Myers to the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear to God, my favorite moment in the new season is when the guy is looking around trying to find Reacher, and something grabs him and pulls him under the fucking bus, and he can't see what it is. That was horrifying.
Yeah, it was.
And that's the way it should be. You know, he should be the shape.
Yeah.
Hunting these characters down, and they should be terrified of him.
Yeah.
Rambo
why-
needs to be the same thing.
That's why the Equalizer movies work so well, because he is
Yep.
essentially Michael Myers in his films, especially in the third one. The third one's a
I
horror
love
movie.
this third film, by the way.
Yeah.
How many of you guys have seen the third film?
I haven't seen the third one yet.
No, I haven't.
I want to show all three of them to Anima in order. And then I want to do them on a Saturday.
The only sequels that
Oh.
Denzel's ever done, by the way.
Yep.
The only sequels. Yep. And he's made a lot of movies.
Yep. Is that easy, Tim?
Yeah, it's
Monkey Jeebus is in bad financial shape right now. Hojo, he got robbed. A lot of money. I don't want to say how much. I don't know how he feels about it right now. He gives me moral support. Yeah, he got robbed.
oh man, here's Jerkwater USA right here. What's
Mhm.
up?
Oh, that guy is so brilliant. Telling the
He's
chopper
genius.
pilot, if
Yeah,
you don't
threatening the guy
hold it
that's
steady,
keeping you alive.
yeah, if you hold it steady, I will shoot you.
Yeah.
If I were the pilot, I
I'll
would say,
shoot you.
really? Really? Are you going to shoot the pilot? Do it.
See, that's when
Right
the
there.
pilot pulls out
I'll kill
his
you.
sidearm and blows him away. Blast.
Yeah.
A rock kills him.
Or
because
just
he throws
turns
a
it a
rock
little
at the
bit. You know?
helicopter. Rambo throws a rock,
Yeah, I know. I'm
it
talking
hits
about
the
the pilot
windscreen,
tipped it right
and
about
it
the time he
causes the
said that.
chopper pilot to move. And because the guy undid his safety strap like an idiot,
Mhm.
he dies.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, he undoes the safety strap. He threatens the pilot.
Yeah.
Man, fuck this guy. Let him fall. He did to himself. Bye.
Trust me when I say this, Hojo. I believe Monkey, if he hadn't gotten screwed the way he did, probably would have been one of my biggest supporters financially. Monkey's a good dude.
I submit the theory that the pilot did it on purpose.
Yeah, he might have.
He did. Wait a minute. What did he do on the porpoise?
Oh.
He said he did something on the porpoise.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Yeah. Like, did you see?
By the way,
Seriously.
the big piece of canvas that he's wearing, that was actually something found. It's not a prop. It's something that was found on the set. Stallone liked it and went with it.
Hey.
And
So,
it became one of the most signature things with Rambo, is that
Yeah.
the goddamn rap. And he still has it to this day.
It's a freaking tarp. That's what it is.
That's all it is. The tarp he found on location, they used it, and he kept it to this day. He still has it in his house.
But what's funny about it is, think about it, Gary. That is a totally Army thing right there. Everybody is given a shelter half. Now, most people,
And it
guys
takes
use
two people to make a tent.
right. But with your other gear, you can actually make a tent. You just don't have the poles for it, but you can actually snap a poncho to that shelter half in a pinch and make yourself a one-man tent, But the fact that he wore a wrap like that, I was like, wow, that is a totally Army thing right there. Using something that's meant for another purpose, like a poncho, for a shelter half kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I wasn't paying attention. Did we already have him fall through the tree?
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is important to point out. That
Want
was
me
a
to go back?
stuntman.
Want
That
me
was
to
a
go back?
stuntman. Yeah, go back. Because that's a stuntman all the way until the close-ups. And then they dropped Stallone into that tree from a higher location, just
Right.
above the branches. And the shot that's in the movie is the shot where he broke his ribs on the limb.
They did
And that
Yeah,
look
the
of
one where
pain,
his armpit lands on the branch. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
he broke his ribs, and he got fucked up making this movie.
Yeah.
He put a lot of physical power and strength into getting this movie finished because he was hurt.
Look,
Gerry's
man.
alone with another man. He always loves to pitch a tent. All right, I'm going to tell you what I said to a guy during FTX in the Army. He's a new guy.
Oh my
New guy. So we're all sitting around the shelter house, just jamming like you do in the military. You're just sitting around. You don't have to, you finally get some downtime. No sergeants yelling at you, officers telling you what to do. You're sitting there on your own time. You've had chow, and we're sitting around talking. And I look up and I see the new guy coming towards us. And I lean into everybody. I said, no matter what I say, you guys go with what I'm about to do. Just go with it. And they're like, what is he
Okay.
doing?
Here's
This new guy walks up. Oh, we finally got there. Okay.
Yes, and he's
So that's Stuntman. And then when he hits the tree limbs, that's him. When they cut to the shot of him hitting the tree limbs, that's him being dropped. And he got hurt, broke his ribs, bruised up.
I wonder how the stuntman fared.
Is that it right there?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the part where he hits the limb right there on his armpit. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
It effed him up. So anyway, so new guys walking towards me, and I tell the guys with me, I'm like, whatever I do, you just go with it. Just go with it. So when he walks up, I said, hey, maybe new guy can help us here. Hey, new guy. And he walks over. Yeah. And I said, so the guys and I were talking. So you're in your shelter half with your battle buddy, right? And you wake up in the morning, your pants are down around your ankles and your ass hurts. And you reach back and you find it's just packed full of Vaseline. And your partner, your battle buddy's already gone. And you know he's done something that he shouldn't have done to you during the night, right? And everybody's like, oh, I went, yeah. Now, the question and the quandary we've got right now is, would you go to your senior NCOs to report this? Because here's the problem. You go to your senior NCOs and you open your mouth, this is all going to get made public. So everybody's going to know you got banged during the night. And that's all they're going to think about. And you're going to have to live with that stigma. Or do you just take one for the team and just shut the fuck up and not say a damn thing? And we sat quietly waiting. And the guy said, I guess, I don't know. I probably wouldn't say anything. I stood up and I put my hand on his shoulder. I said, well, I'll see you later, buddy.
Oops, we lost Animal. Well, she has having trouble with StreamYard
That's funny.
earlier, so
I've heard that one before, Gary. That's pretty good.
It's one of those things I did. Now, Backdoor Gary's been around for a long time.
Come
I've
on.
always been a bit of a pervert with the jokes I make. Till Daniel challenged his authority. What are
they're
we talking?
talking about the character John Kreese from
Oh, Creasy? Yeah.
no, John Kreese, Cobra Kai and Karate Kid.
Yeah, Creasy.
No, Kreese is the one from oh my god.
You're thinking of Man on Fire.
Yes, Man on Fire.
I thought his last name was Creasy. Is it Crease?
Yes.
I've always called him Creasy.
Because
And
you're
I'm not confusing it.
Okay.
I'm not conflating it. I've always called him Creasy.
so
He's got his hands up, man.
Yep.
He's ready to
Hands
get
up.
up, right?
Unarmed,
Mm.
surrendering, and as usual,
Now that the cop's dead,
Yep.
it's escalated. Now,
Well, it's
again,
about to
I want to point out
escalate.
another big difference between the book and the film. Rambo kills everybody.
In the book.
yeah.
He didn't care. Hunters, he killed them.
Well, if I remember correctly, was this a PG-13 movie? No.
No, it's R.
No.
The first PG-13 movie was the second Indiana
Spielberg.
Jones flick, right?
Yeah, Spielberg.
Temple of Doom. Yeah.
No, I think Temple of Doom is why PG-13 exists. And it's because of that movie and Spielberg that we got PG-13 because he didn't want R.
I always have it in my head that Dreamscape was the first PG-13 for some reason.
Really?
But I could be
I'm
wrong.
going
It's
to go
one of the
look it up
first.
for you because we've talked about this before over on Toxic Tuesday. First
I thought it was Temple of Doom.
PG
I have no idea.
movie.
I do know Disney's first PG movie was the
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
Oh, Red Dawn. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do know Disney's first PG movie was Black Hole. I do remember that.
Yeah.
They sold the shit out of that when they first made it.
And once again, yeah, because he makes the punji sticks, which doesn't do like what they do in Vietnam where they put poop on it.
Right.
Because if the stick didn't kill you, the bacterial infection would kill you.
Right. Anima has PTSD from Gary's war stories.
Yeah, it's more like his next statement is more true. PTSD from her cats. And my stories just trigger it.
Now look, they're going out in a
Robert.
dark environment with white hats on. How covert?
That was done
can you be?
intentionally so you could see them. They were given those white hats so you could see them because it was so dark in the woods.
We're gonna sneak up on him with white hats.
I'm talking like crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy was in a lot of movies right there.
Oh, yeah.
He was in a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah. All of these guys were
Mm-hmm.
in a ton of movies afterward.
I couldn't remember David Caruso's name, the redhead. Gary and I were talking before the show.
I can never remember it.
I remember it thanks to South Park.
Right.
Because if I can't remember his name, I just remember the line from South Park. I do like David Caruso's career, John. Yeah, I can't even see this right now.
Yeah, it was dark in the film too. I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
They did that on purpose because there's lightning going on. It's a rainstorm. This happens and the lightning was used for effect, just show how scared guys were and stuff, or like when didn't he set up a scarecrow of himself somewhere in there and they were shooting at it and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that leads to one of the guys shooting his own guy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, these guys fucked themselves up. I mean, there's some booby traps, but yeah.
The only one that dies is the mustache asshole that falls from the helicopter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he does fuck him up. That one dude
Which was
gets
a
spongy sticks.
Huge
Ugh.
leap from the book. Because like I said, he killed everybody in the book. And here's the problem. The author, he's one of those Ivy League. I'm not going to say what college he was in. I can't remember if it was Oxford or Yale, but he was an Ivy League graduate and a professor. And he had interviewed or listened to veterans, and he came to his own conclusion. He considered them dangerous. And so that's what Rambo, his book, was supposed to be about, showing what a terrorizing thing a Vietnam veteran could be if he decided to unleash. And that's insulting.
Yeah, it is.
Stallone turned around and turned him into a heroic figure.
Yeah, he did. It's pretty damn awesome. D-Bud Martin, I'll buy that. Yeah. If it was lit really good, you wouldn't see the rain, would you? At all. Yep.
Yeah, these guys are going to all be scarred physically and mentally after this experience with Rambo. There's no question about it, John.
Oh, and he tells Brian Dennehy's character that too. He's like, I could have killed all of you. You know.
And Troutman even says it straight to his face later on. You know,
Right.
he screwed up. He should have killed all of you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm
Quite
like,
frankly, you screwed up.
okay,
What do you mean?
damn.
None of you should be alive, right?
And,
Yeah.
and that is when Rambo became the original Elsa by saying, "Let it go, let it go."
Ariel's calling us unstable, Gary. Come on, man. We're not unstable. We're disciplined. We really are. Believe it or not. No, actually, what it is we've already seen hell, so the rest of our lives is gravy, and we just don't give a shit.
Well, that's what, it's one thing, Joe, that they've been trying to do. I'm not going to get overly political, but the leftists in this country and around the world are trying to make veterans a threat.
Oh, yeah.
Because
don't
we
wanna go
are.
down that
We're a
rabbit
threat
hole
to their
because,
planet.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
They want to make it sound like we're a threat to society, which is not true.
No, it's not. If anything, we're the guardians of it. Sorry. We just are. So,
In D. Bud Martin's statement here, tint is code for sex. Did you catch a lightning flash there? Wow. Yeah, you actually caught a lightning flash there
yeah.
when they got lit up.
He's got a couple of them. Yep. Yeah, Rambo's about to put that knife to his throat and tell him, hey, look,
It's right here.
you don't want
Let
any
it go.
part of this. You
Let
really
it go.
don't.
I could have killed you. I could have killed all your fucking asshole friends. But I didn't.
Let it
Let it go.
That's why I found it kind of funny what you were talking about pre-show about his Arnold Schwarzenegger lines. I was like, you know what? I don't remember him having any in this movie. But that
I'm going to tell you,
explains all
he's
of it.
not good
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
He's not good at it. People love some of the dialogue from his snappy dialogue from Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
I didn't think he delivered it very well at all.
No, he's
Arnold
better as
is the
serious character,
king.
man. Yeah. Mhm.
Arnold's the king of those one-liners.
Yeah.
Just
Bruce is good at it too. Bruce Willis was good at it too.
Bruce is always good at it. Hans,
Oh man.
well,
Here we
the
go.
funny part is what I found. Most of the police officers, and I'm not criticizing law enforcement, but there's a problem within law enforcement of discipline.
Yeah.
And some of the best cops I've met are prior service military because they have better trigger discipline. They also have better social discipline
Training.
in how they
man.
talk to people.
Yep.
Training.
I mean,
Now,
definitely.
here's a guy that's been in a lot of movies, this state trooper.
Yes.
Mhm.
Was in a lot
This
of Clint
guy-
Eastwood movies.
Where have I seen this
yeah.
guy?
The Outlaw Josie Wales, my friend. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's in that one.
Oh, that guy.
Deliverance.
The
Yeah.
reporter. Are you talking about the reporter?
Yes,
No,
the reporter.
I'm talking about the state trooper that was talking to Dennehy a second
Yeah,
ago.
Martin's asking, where have you seen that guy before?
Yeah, a lot of Clint Eastwood movies. He's the leader
No,
of the Red
again,
Leg.
he's talking about the reporter. He's
Oh.
asking about the reporter.
Shit. I don't know.
You're like a dog that gets a scent and won't let go.
That's it. Maybe it's a cameo by the author, kind of like Peter Benson.
That's what I was wondering, and I'm going to go look and see.
Might be the
Was he?
author doing a little cameo.
So the author writes his book, basically ranting against vets. Stallone fixes the thing with the movie, and the author said that the movie likes him. He likes the movie even better than his own book. So this guy, he changed his mind about veteran.
Well, he definitely changed it because he went back, admitted that it was better, and changed the books, and he wrote sequels.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Krenna's character's great, but like I said, he plays this like he's on stage. He's like he's trying to be heard by the entire room, not just this guy.
At some point, he looks disappointed that the cops are alive.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. He's like, Ah, shit.
I teach him better. I teach him better
I
than that.
trained him better than that.
With guns, with knives, with his bare hands.
Okay, pause the movie for a second. I'm going to share my screen.
You got the reporter for us, man?
Yes, I do.
Kick ass.
There you go. This is the reporter, Mike Winlaw. He has made a career playing reporters in movies and TV shows. First Blood, MacGyver, The Accused, Jennifer 8. He's always a TV reporter. Oh, The Fly too. He's a neonatologist dealing with new babies. Newscaster. Twice he's played doctors. The rest of the time he's played reporters. So there you go.
And there it is.
Huh.
He was in Jennifer 8, which is another great thriller. So,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oops.
it's one of those films that's been forgotten, you know. Great film.
And John
John
Malkovich is so fucking creepy in that movie, and he's not even the villain.
Wait a minute. Was Malkovich in that movie?
Isn't
Yeah,
Malcolm
he's
basically
the
creepy
FBI
in
agent.
everything he does?
FBI agent.
Yeah. Yeah. What I loved is Lance Henriksen's in it, along with Andy Garcia.
Andy Garcia is one of the most underrated actors of all time, dude.
And
Love it.
Uma Thurman before she got weird looking.
Yeah.
My God, her nostrils are huge.
Mm-hmm. She was a babe when she
dare
was a kid,
you.
man. Yeah, no doubt.
Her nostrils look like they could suck in a universe.
How dare you?
Oh man, but yeah, Krenna's over here telling him,
Yes,
"Dude,
we are.
just let it go, man. You can pick him up in Seattle in a week, man. Come on, it'll be all right, bro. You ain't got to go to this bitch."
It's that time of the show, and thank you, Ariel, for reminding
Well, wait a
me.
minute. Wait a minute. Are we saying that this is the middle of the show? Is that it? Are we
Something
saying
like
it's
that.
middle?
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the middle of the film.
Go for
We
it.
haven't played that one in a while, man. That's cool.
Meet the Seattle Vigilante. Like so many comic heroes, this warrior hides his identity. But his identity isn't the only secret he has to keep. After grievous wounds received during combat, Tier 1 operator John Russell begins to recover and comes to terms with his new reality of being an amputee. And as he learns how to use his new prosthetic limb, he finds himself caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that too many wounded veterans experience, the exhausting medboard process. Out of sheer frustration, John takes it out on the criminal scum of the city. But when reality kicks in, John realizes he started something that's having an impact on the greater world around him, and thus has to reevaluate his motives. And moreover, just how far is John willing to go to finish this war he's declared against the criminals in Seattle? And will he even survive? From the creator of IDW's award-winning graphic novel Code Word Geronimo comes a new story about a different kind of warrior, Vindicated Inc., the first of its kind disabled veteran action hero comic. The Vindicated Inc. graphic novel crowdfunding campaign on fundmycomic.com is provided in the description of this video. We hope you become a contributor. Please share this link. Thank you.
Anima has returned to us. Her cats released her from being a hostage.
Hooray!
I'm just having stupid Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we're saying it was the cats.
We're going with cats. Don't care what you say. The cats did it. And if this is not the personification of irony, I don't know what it is.
The
Monkey
cats,
Jim.
yeah. The cat's the stoner is Cobb. By the way, I was listening to a story last night. Keanu Reeves gave Francis Ford Coppola a gift of mushrooms.
Mm.
It's a good video if you want to watch it. It's funny. Yeah, and this is where you find out what really triggered this whole thing, started the whole thing. They're all gone. I'm the last one.
Yep.
and it just it hit him like just a ton of bricks, man. When you find out that all your buddies are dead, it has an impact on you. And that sheriff bullied him at the wrong fucking time. Any other time, I think Rambo would have just walked it off.
Yeah. But
Abitina's in the house.
How many books has
at
David
that point,
Morrell written?
he had nothing
Several.
to lose, right? Literally nothing to lose because he'd lost everything he cared about, right?
Yep.
One, if I can address this question for a second, because I know a little bit about it a little bit. The one non-Rambo novel that I remember David Morrell writing was a book called Brotherhood of the Rose. And that got made into a pretty good movie, too, with Peter Strauss, David Morse, Connie Selica, and Robert Mitchum as the villain in that. And Robert Mitchum's character, he goes around to orphanages. He takes two kids, raises them up as brothers, and then he trains them to be assassins. And I would say watch that movie and see where John Wick came from.
Good luck finding it.
Yeah, it's hard to find, but
it was never released on
really
DVD.
good.
It was only released on VHS.
What's the name of the movie again?
Brotherhood of the Rose.
Brotherhood of the Rose.
I think
If you go and look it up, there's hardly anything on the internet about it. If you do look it up, it's mentioned. It's mentioned on IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and title only with one graphic. There is no cast mentioned.
Wow,
that's how forgotten that movie is.
That's too bad. That was a damn good movie.
I liked it too, but that happens so often. And it's something you know. That's what we need to do is find a copy of that movie, and we'll do it on the military weekend because we're getting ready to do. I'm looking forward to doing this on Military Monday. We're going to do Sicario and Sicario 2.
Ooh, there you go, man. Sicario.
Anima made it through that movie. I was really worried when she saw what he did at the end.
Yeah.
I gave her the heads up that Emily Blunt is not the protagonist of this movie.
Oh no.
You're led to believe that, but if you pay attention, the central character of that story is Benicio del Toro,
the guy in the back of the room. Yeah, nobody knows why he's there.
I would have believed that she's the protagonist because she's given zero information and she isn't really doing anything.
No, she is there for one reason: for him to do what he needs to do. And she has no clue that she is just being used. She should have, if she was as smart as she's written as, she should have noticed that. And even her partner, FBI partner, tells her, they're just using you.
Yeah. And
she goes, but I want to know why. Well, then go find out why elsewhere.
Yeah.
Don't help them. You know, but the fact is I support what they did. I agreed with what he did. And I don't like what he did with the kids.
I
didn't like that.
That was revenge. That was pure revenge right there.
I hate when they get kids
to
involved.
him. It was punishment because he killed them in front of the father. Yep. So he would feel what he felt.
He said, not in front of my boys, and he obeyed that.
He didn't understand what was about to happen. He didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
He thought this was simple revenge. No, it was more than that. It was punishment.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to punish him. Yep. Now look on his face, and then he delivers the line, finish your dinner.
Yeah. Right, finish.
After he kills his wife and kids, finish your dinner.
Yeah.
And of course, he just stares at him, broken. And now
the opening scene of that flick
now he knows.
One of the most vicious things I've ever seen, man. I was wow.
He
and you know what? I would not be surprised if that's actually happened. You know what I mean?
Oh, I guarantee it's happened.
The wife with one shot, but then he shoots him, and you hear him like gurgle and splutter, and then he kills him with a second shot. So he
shoots him in the throat, is what I think he did.
Yeah.
And then he does the coup de grace. But
He really lets himself.
at the beginning, that is what's referred to as a stash house.
Oh,
Now,
it's Victor's
stash houses
Day.
are used for a lot of things. That house was made to stash dead bodies.
Wow.
That's
They
so
kidnap
true.
these people to get ransom, murder them. They're already dead before they collect. And they put them in the fucking walls in plastic bags. That's a horror scene.
I wonder if they've ever done a study with the viciousness of the human being the closer you get to the equator. Because it sure
There's
seems
a book.
like
Hold on. There's a book you should check out. I don't know if they still print it, but you might be able to find an old copy. 1,000 Years of Torture.
Hmm.
And
all I know is
that
the
book,
continent of Africa and
freaked
South
me out.
America is two of the most vicious places. Just woof. It's crazy.
well, Southeast Asia, and Asia itself, one of the worst tortures mentioned in that book was the bamboo torture, where they would put you in a chair with a hole in it, and they would put a bamboo plant under you,
Oh,
and it grows. I can't remember. It's a fast-growing plant, and they would let it grow up into the person, killing them slowly.
ugh.
Yeah, my dad had
Getting
me
close
read
to the
that when I was
equator.
12. My dad had me read that when I was 12.
Ugh.
And I'm like, why would you have me read this? Like,
Yikes.
I don't want to know these things.
Right.
So once again, every opportunity Dennehy's character has had to stop this, he won't.
Won't do it.
Keeps pushing. This is now the National Guard.
Oh,
And
my
this
God.
scene always pisses me off because no member of the U.S. Army National Guard would have haircuts like this.
No.
One dude there has a mustache out to here. Never happened. You are forced to maintain. It's like if you show up at drill without a proper haircut and grooming, they'll smoke your ass. They follow the rules of the U.S. Army.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got annoyed by that scene. But yes, it's true. Some of these guys, like in small towns, are just weekend warriors, and that's
Yes.
all they are.
Well,
They don't think about the military until they're drill.
and you got to remember the mission of the National Guard back then. It was mostly disaster relief. I mean, they weren't deployed back then. They weren't.
They were actually. My grandfather was National Guard. He got deployed to.
I was in it. We
World
never
War
got
I.
deployed. The first time our unit got deployed was Desert Shield. Shortly
for
after I
me-
got out in 91.
half of my unit was deployed, and for some reason, I didn't get deployed. But I did go get to do temporary duty in Riyadh, and which
But
was
the active
cool.
military was a lot. There was a lot more people in it back then, and we had different mission parameters back then. The early '80s, they weren't getting deployed that often. They weren't.
Nope. But these guys, they wouldn't get away with looking like this.
No.
And they're a bit of what we'd refer to as a Charlie Foxtrot, or in layman's terms, clusterfuck.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love the NG scenes, from the dork yelling bullseye to I have to be back at the pharmacy. Yeah.
On Monday. Yeah. No shit. Right.
But each one of the guys in the National Guard, their names are names of people who worked on the film. Each one of their names on their name tags, if you can read them, that is somebody that worked on the film.
Yeah.
They were given that name.
This,
of course, is meant to mimic the raising of the flag at Iwo Jima.
Weekend Warriors that I served with, man, the first FTX I went
Information
out on.
Man show.
What?
Yeah, these guys are what we refer to in the military as fuck chops.
Yeah, look, the first time I went out on FTX with them, first 2 weeks of the summer, I went out with them. None of them knew what light discipline was. They were using flashlights all over the place. I was like, guys, you're blinding yourself. What are you doing? It was really weird, because these guys didn't do it all the time. And they didn't.
I learned in the back of the ambulance, you have not played poker until you play it with a red filter on your flashlight.
Right?
You're like, is that a heart or a diamond?
Right? Is that a heart or a diamond?
And so everybody knew you had a heart or a diamond, and possibly an important card if you pull out the red filter so
Right.
you can see the
Damn it.
you put your blue filter on so you can see the fucking cards. Pauly Shore is National Guard in the Army now. That's a movie we've talked about on this channel. I thought they got the training correct, despite not being a very funny film. And I can't stand Andy Dick.
I didn't see it because it had Pauly Shore in it.
It's still hard for me to watch news radio because I still do watch it.
Yeah.
And I've gotten emotional watching it because, it just kills me.
Yeah.
What happened to Phil Hartman. And Andy Dick was the cause. Andy Dick, yes, she's the one who snorted the coke and started drinking again. But he's the one who handed it to her. He's the one who got her to do it. She'd been on the wagon for a while. And she fell off the wagon because of Andy Dick.
It's all right. He's getting his slow comeuppance now.
Yeah, I know, right? Karma's a motherfucker.
Ugh.
I've never watched it because I didn't like the idea of the show. It just didn't gel with me. And I kind of feel bad. I should go back and watch that show. I really should. I love him in Stargate, man. He is great as O'Neill.
Sorry, I was muted there. Yeah, I love that original MacGyver series. It's the CBS version that I can't stand, where they basically turned him into
the
Antifa.
reboot? Yeah.
Yeah.
Certain things shouldn't be rebooted. Damn it.
The Vets, were there any movies or series that could not get through or watch? I have trouble with a lot of films. There are some movies I can never watch again. And they impacted me so harshly. I still have trouble with Black Hawk Down because I was in when that happened. I knew some of the guys that served over in Somalia.
Depends on how realistic it is. I mean, some of these war movies are just they're cartoonish, But you watch something like
anything that gives you that buffer, that buffer, that safe buffer. But I get emotional. I got to tell you, my daughter. Oh my God, my daughter knew how to fucking tick me off. If we're watching a war film, I'll start to blubber watching war films. War films really get me.
There are the medals of the sheriff.
Yep.
Even
Purple
a Purple
Heart.
Heart.
I can't see it well
Silver
enough.
Star, maybe.
No, I don't think it's not big enough for the Silver Star. Purple Heart's in the middle. It means he was wounded in combat.
I'll try to get a
good snapshot of that because I am curious what those medals are.
I'm gonna send you a snapshot of the 4K.
And at the heart of the story, it was originally in the text. It was in the script that he resented Rambo. This is personal for him because he felt the Vietnam vets got all the thunder from the Korean War vets, the Forgotten War.
Mm-hmm.
All Quiet on the Western Front was the first war film I ever saw.
Yeah.
I watched it with my dad when I was little. That's a great film. And here's a little thing for you. The actor, I just forgot his name. He served as a personal inspiration to me. All Quiet on the Western.
Western Front.
Let's see. I have to put 1930. There it is. The actor's name is Lou Ayres. Lou Ayres plays the main character. Lou Ayres in real life was a conscientious objector in World War II, and it destroyed his career. And it wasn't found out until later that despite being a conscientious objector, as they wanted to publish and hurt him, he did serve as a combat medic. Served with distinction, was awarded a couple of accommodations, but he served in combat. And it saved his career because his career was dead for like 10 years. And then when that got found out, it changed everything. And then he was respected again. Because people look at conscientious objectors and pacifists as cowards.
They shouldn't.
And they shouldn't.
No.
My sergeant, I told you what happened with my sergeant, because he called me a pacifist. He says, just my luck. The best shot in the company is a goddamn pacifist. And I'm like, I'm the best shot in the company. Is he talking about me? I was like weirded out by that. I'm not a and my hand went up. He goes, yes, private. I said, are you talking about me for a sergeant? He says, yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm not a pacifist. He goes, well, what are you? I said, I'm a conscientious objector. What's the difference? I said, oh, there's a huge difference. A pacifist, you walk up to him, slap him, stab him, shoot him, and they won't do anything. They won't fight you. You walk up to me with a knife, I will fucking blow your face off, go to bed and sleep the sleep of the righteous. I won't lose any sleep over it. I said, what I won't do is kill somebody by order.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, it was like one of those, well, thanks for the safety tip, Egon. You get a reaction.
Right. A true Bill Murray moment.
I even threw in there, I said, I'll stab someone in the face. I have no qualms of violence. I will be violent. I embrace violence.
Right.
But Darius Munchhouse with the $4 super sticker, I don't know what it is. What is it?
It is
Coffee.
It's
The
a
coffee
little
mug.
green
Coffee.
minion
And
throwing
here's
coffee at you.
my coffee today. Pea. It's pea. I'm drinking pea. No, it's Mountain Dew.
Speaking of coffee, I'm going to go get some. See you in a second.
Mountain Dew Zero, in fact. Because it's warm in here today, and I don't need to have a warm drink. It's very warm.
I'm already on number 2.
And for you, Darius.
Oh, did you have number? Did you go number 2? Good. I'm glad.
Oh.
How did it come out?
I had. God damn it! All right, I'll give you that one.
You
I walked into that one. I walked right into that one.
Careful
All
with
right.
your phrasing there, Delita.
Darius, is your me.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
I'll buy that for $1.
I'll buy that for $1. Thank you, Darius. It's good to see you, my friend. We haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Che's here too. He popped in.
I told you. But you never listened to me.
Oh, Delta Force back in the 80s with Barry Bostwick. He would later in the 90s play the governor in Spin City. God, what a weird movie Delta Force was. That was a weird one. It was like they were trying to do G.I. Joe
Okay,
Yeah.
with
I
bad
have a
costumes.
force. Yeah.
those are
Ah.
the medals.
That's a Bronze Star. I'm not sure what that one on the left is. I have to look that one up. Unless, Che, do you know what that one is?
Christian pacifist, right?
Even though, look, I was deeply Catholic my whole life. I still am, but I don't really believe in that stuff. I believe, well, what Don and I've talked about it. I believe that people in ancient times misunderstood things, and I think that the closest thing is what they showed in Prometheus. Oh, you're talking about Delta Farce with Larry the Cable Guy. Oh my God, I forgot about that movie. Oh my God. I have never watched that movie because I can barely stand Larry the Cable Guy. That movie did not get my attention. But he had some other people in that movie with him too. No, it's not Marksman.
Okay,
I have-
Ariel Ballet says is the Silver Star, Purple Heart, and Army Distinguished Service Cross Medal.
I don't think that was silver, was it? It looked like bronze.
Yeah, it looked bronze. to me,
Army
too, but-
Distinguished Service Cross. That's what it is. You are right. But I don't think that's a Silver Star.
Oh,
George
could be
Army
wrong.
IMDb trivia.
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying
Well-
I don't think it is.
I
Well,
tend
IMDb
to
is
think
always right.
I incline to think that it's a Silver Star because just for the ribbon, the colors on the ribbon.
Okay. I don't know what word he said, but it sounded cool.
How dare you?
Okay, here's the truck scene.
Shut up, Donna.
This
Yeah.
is when he commandeers this truck and then tells the guy I hope you're wearing your safety belt or some shit like that.
The deuce and a half. Yes.
It said,
That was the
"Look at me,
largest
look at the
vehicle I
road."
was licensed in the Army to drive.
Yep.
If you drove an Humvee as an MP, you were also licensed to drive a deuce and a half.
We had Jeeps when I was in, buddy.
Oh, you're back in the gay army.
Hey,
Oh.
man, Jeeps are fucking awesome. Sorry,
Yeah,
I love them.
yes, they
The
are.
Willys Jeep is an amazing vehicle.
Yes, it is. I wish I had one today. I really do.
Those things were made, they were like Mulligan stew. And also, I compare it to the 45, the 1911A. Because if you pick up the Colt Commando, the Colt Combat pistol, it rattles.
Mhm.
And it's the same thing with the Jeep. None of those parts were made for that vehicle.
Nope.
They were a hodgepodge of parts taken from other vehicles to build the Jeep. And they did that all the way into the 90s. It wasn't until the 90s that Jeep had sold enough to where they began to manufacture parts for Jeep. And Jeep became a different vehicle after that.
It was a character on Rat Patrol, buddy.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know it was.
Had that Browning on there. Yeah.
See, I was the 60 guy on my Jeep crew on Johnson Island, and yeah, loved it, man. It was cool. They weren't using that big a weapon on the Jeeps when I was in. It was a 60 we mounted on the back of it. It was one.
That's still a good weapon, my friend.
Yeah.
7.62, but it's a good weapon.
Yeah.
Hey, this scene is so fun to me because this is a deuce and a half. That's 2.5 tons.
2.5 ton
versus
vehicle. That's what it stands.
1 ton vehicle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the odds are on the truck side.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah, I
right.
love
Radar
that.
did do
Yeah, he
that.
did. Yeah, he
I
did.
love that.
That is awesome. Well, you know what they used to do with the old Jeeps when they decommissioned them? They used to quarter them. They used to cut them in 4 parts so people couldn't use them. And I heard stories of guys that knew what they were doing with vehicles of putting them back together, getting a quartered one and putting them back together, doing all the welding and stuff and doing all that shit. You know?
My grandfather shipped parts home for an Indian motorcycle.
Ooh. Yeah,
From
the
Europe.
Scouts used to use those, right? Yeah.
And he got one when he was over there and he just started shipping parts home. And when he got home, he put it back together again. And he had an Indian chief for years.
Wow.
I almost bought an Indian chief. The engine was shot, but the frame itself was worth a fortune. This guy was going to sell it to me for like $400.
Oh.
And I didn't get paid for like 2 weeks. And I was so pissed. I was broken. I'm like, what is so bad? And by the time I got the money, he'd already sold it. I was like, tell me who bought it so I can go kill them.
Right. That sounds like my Mustang story. I was shopping for a vehicle and I bought a used one for $6,000. And the next week I saw a 65 Mustang that looked beautiful in the parking lot of the grocery store across the railroad tracks from my neighborhood. And it was up there for $6,000 fucking dollars. And I was so pissed. I was so mad. I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. This is the Irish. This is my Irish luck right here.
There you go.
Well,
By the way, this is it. This is when he brings the battle into the town. And in the book, and they actually did shoot his death in the film. Troutman kills him. But it didn't test well.
I'm sorry.
For a
I
reason.
think
It was a
I
bad
think the
idea.
soliloquy at the end of this is one of the best moments in movie history, if you ask me. I dug it. I
And
thought
it's
it was
based on an actual thing that somebody said that Stallone was there. He heard him say it.
I mean, he did a
and,
great job. You know, most movies, when you see him, you see Sylvester Stallone, but he acts really well in that scene, man. He looks like he's in serious pain, dude. It's pretty awesome.
They did the actual explosion in the town. And by the way, this place, Hope, British Columbia, made so much money from this film production that they were just so happy to have him there.
Mm-hmm.
And all the pyros were done on set there in Hope. And the people of Hope were just so grateful because they had all just had a massive layoff from a company that closed.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were in a slump, financial slump in that town. And this movie was just enough of a boon to save the town for a while until they could find something else to do. But it's also, by the way, it's a Christmas movie.
Of course.
The movie takes place
all great action
during
movies
the
are
Christmas holiday. The thing is, though, it's not. Tom and I talked about this, and we're in agreement that it's not really a Christmas movie if you can take the Christmas elements out and it still works.
Absolutely.
I don't care.
And Gremlins 2, you know, look, I mean, Gremlins, Bruce Willis's movie, Die Hard. They don't work.
Die Hards.
The party wouldn't even be happening for Die Hard. So there you go. It's a Christmas movie.
Yep.
Movies like this and Lethal Weapon, even though both I consider movies to watch at Christmas, you could take the Christmas out and both movies would still work.
It was so funny. I was having this argument with one of my co-hosts on my show on Wednesdays,
Still a Christmas movie.
and he was trying to tell me that it could happen on Thanksgiving. I said, dude, have you ever been to a work Thanksgiving party? No, everybody's at home with their families. What are you talking about, you retard? He's like, it could happen. I'm like, yeah, sure.
No.
Okay. Throw a Thanksgiving.
Nobody has ever had in the history of ever had a Thanksgiving party.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Your friend? I know he's your friend. He's a fucking idiot. But anyway, this is the final scene. This is so good. Troutman has to confront his own demons here.
Yep.
You know, because he made this guy this way.
Yep.
And he's warning Dennehy, you know, people are gonna die. You better stop.
Yeah.
Not in this channel. In this channel, Christmas is called Christmas.
Yes. We're supposed to call it.
And Thanksgiving is Turkey Jihad Day.
We're canceled.
That's so good. Oh my God.
And here's the irony here. As important as Rambo 2 and Rambo 3 are to the overall story arc, I'm not a fan of either of those films because I thought they're too over the top. They were just too. The whole glistening muscle shit was just annoying me.
Oh, what, the sequels? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Come on.
It bugged me.
You watch the second one, and it's obvious they were trying to sell action figures and all kinds of shit, man. That's just wow. Ooh, completely stupid movie. There's some. It's like they've got the bare skeleton of the character in it, and the rest of it's a cartoon. It's just the exploding.
Yeah, but I was a kid,
tips.
so I like the cartoon.
Dude, playing chicken with a tank and a helicopter.
Dude,
what the fuck?
I mean, some of the stuff he does in that movie, the friggin' arrow, the explosive arrow tips cracked me up too. I was like, damn, come on, man. That's overkill, bro. When he shot that guy with an explosive arrow, I was like, good Lord, come on, man.
Yeah.
Now,
you wasted that on something you didn't need to waste it on.
Yeah, granted, but that was the guy who tried to skin him alive. So
it's true. There's a little bit of vengeance there. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ariel 2 and 3, they are totally skippable, but you must see 4. Yeah. 5 maybe, but 4 is a
Yeah, now 4 I've never seen. I heard that was a good one. Rambo, isn't that the name of it? Rambo
is it's my favorite in the franchise.
Really?
Because when he goes off on those guys with that 50,
my brother told me that was a grisly flick. Yeah.
I had the biggest fucking GI hard on for that movie. Because when you see that first guy get vaporized, I'm like,
Jesus.
That's what it looks like.
That's what a 50 cal would do to somebody. That's right. Oh my God.
I mean, literally point blank.
Ooh.
The M60 60 weighs what? 16 pounds or something.
You can hold it up. And look,
Yeah.
it takes somebody. It takes somebody like Sly to hold it up the way he did in that movie. I mean, I've got a picture of me holding mine, kind of cowboy style, slung on me on Johnson Island, standing on a seawall. But it's what we call a crew served weapon. There's supposed to be two guys working it, unless
but
it's
the guy
mounted on the back of a Jeep and you've got an ammo can next to it that'll make sure it feeds okay.
but the second guy is mostly for
Feeding the ammo.
For
That's what he's
feeding
there
the
for.
ammo.
He's to keep the ammo going and to help change out the barrel too. I mean, you got an asbestos glove with it too. That's what. Look, him rattling off these rounds the way he does in this movie. It's borderline whether or not that friggin' gun would have melted. I mean, it comes with an extra barrel and an asbestos glove for when you're using it a lot. So,
are we talking about a weapon or are we talking about that tranny?
Weapon. The weapon.
The weapon.
Okay. Yeah, the one that got the Women's Award or something this year.
The weapon, not the gun.
Don't even
The
get
weapon.
on that subject. I got a story to do tonight on me and my brother's show about a golfer. Oh my God, it's horrible. Good Lord.
Oh
yeah. But yeah, that's what we call a crew served weapon. Not many guys go running around firing that by themselves. Okay.
Read this, boss.
By the way, I watched a video the other day that of soldiers being trained on doing dead buddy training, where your gunner gets hit and you grab them, you lay over top of them, grab them underneath their gear, roll back and flip them away, and then roll over onto the weapon. It was fucking crazy, but it's good they're training them to do this, because a lot of guys could get confused of what they're supposed to do when their buddy that was firing the weapon gets hit.
Read this.
You filthy animal. Now, one of the things I really like about this movie, can you pause it for a second?
Yes.
Thanks, man. I wanted to go through because my mentor, a man I've known for a long time, Drew Struzan, did the artwork for this movie. And this was one of the posters he did right here. This was the Subway version. This was the main poster. It's just beautiful.
It is. It is. Look,
just,
poster art back then was amazing. It really was.
The earliest poster still showed Kirk Douglas as Troutman.
Really?
Wow.
Wow, man.
And this is before filming started. This artwork was done. And before shooting started, Kirk Douglas backed out of the film because he wanted to kill Rambo and then drive away and the focus be on him as he looks in the rearview mirror and puts the bandana on that Rambo is wearing.
You mean
kind of saying that
Douglas had an ego?
He's Rambo.
Wow. Yeah.
And they had already rejected at this point the idea of Stallone dying or Rambo dying at the end, even though they still shot a scene. They knew it was problematic. So anyway, that's the artwork a lot of people have never seen before, that one.
Pretty cool. The older Mike gets, the more he looks like his dad. It's amazing.
Yeah. And by the way, when Brian Dennehy did his own stunt when he fell through the roof.
Really?
Yeah.
And he broke his ribs. He missed the mark when he fell, is why.
Yeah, this ending scene is just
This is such a better one. It is so much better than him dying because it was pointless, his dying. In this, it gives the audience hope. For people, for soldiers, everything. For Rambo.
Yeah, for broken people. To actually...
Even the cops. You have hope for the cops at the end of this movie. Because he won. Rambo won. Now, this is before he beefed up.
Yeah.
He went on. He did the movie. The next film he did was Victory with Michael Caine.
Michael Caine and Pele.
I love that movie, man.
And he began doing his bread and water diet. And his goal was to not increase muscle mass yet. He wanted to decrease tissue. He wanted to get down to like 3 to 4% body fat, which is, in my opinion, unhealthy.
It is.
But that's what he did. He wanted definition. So he did that, went on that diet, lost the weight on it. And then, and the one thing you got to do when you do that diet, you have to drink a lot of water because that's how you go into ketosis. That's what almost killed Matt Damon when he lost all that weight doing the movie, the Iraq War film that he did with
Courage Under Fire. One of my favorite movies ever. Yeah.
He damn near killed himself.
Dude.
Because he wasn't supervised. And he went into ketosis and it fucked his kidneys up and it could have killed him.
Yeah. He looks just horrific in that movie at the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was so good he had his own heart attack.
Right? Yeah. Talk about method acting. Good Lord. Jesus.
He forced himself to have a heart attack.
Right.
I also think that it was the 2 bags of cocaine the previous night didn't help.
Yeah. You know, hanging with Affleck can be tough, dude.
I was coking all night, man. Somebody, John, it's funny you said that because when we did Toxic Tuesday, somebody made that exact same joke. That exact same joke. Good joke. I like that joke.
Okay. How does Rambo sounds like a commie?
Sounds like a commie now.
I don't.
Jeez.
Huh?
He wants a system in place where people watch out for each other. Well, that's just a friend.
He doesn't say that.
What he thinks is what all veterans feel. We don't want the Department of Defense in charge of helping us. We want society to help us.
Yeah. We want society to give us what we feel like we've earned. Yeah.
Because the last people you want in charge of helping you reintegrate are the people who taught you how to murder.
Right. Yeah, that's such a good scene right there, man.
And Troutman really comes off as a dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this just came to mind just now. I was thinking of the movie The Hunted, right? The whole thing about
good movie.
Learning how to kill. Learning how to kill is easy. The hard part is being able to turn it off. And who does he try to turn to? The guy who turned him into the killer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why didn't you write me back? He didn't write him back because he didn't know what to tell him.
And that's a problem with a lot of people. They don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And then we get that song at the end that I really don't like.
That's his brother. His brother did all the music in most of his movies.
I love Frank Stallone's voice, by the way. He can sing. I watched him do a couple of Frank Sinatra songs.
That wasn't Frank.
It wasn't?
No.
Huh. Okay.
Either way it goes, Frank Stallone's a good singer.
Gerry, the music is by Jerry Goldsmith, and I can't remember the name of the guy who wrote the lyrics.
If only there were a way.
Was it Bob?
Yeah,
Was it Bob? Was it
don't
Dan?
know.
Todd? Chris? Phil?
I didn't know 30 seconds ago.
David?
Still don't know.
Maybe he was Israeli. David?
All right. I've got it here. It's Long Road, music by Jerry Goldsmith, lyrics by Hal Shaper, arranged by David Page and Marty Page, produced by Bruce Botnick, sung by Dan Hill.
Dan Hill. Okay.
Dan Hill.
Dan Hill. Okay.
There you go. Very nice.
So shout out to Dan Hill, wherever you may be.
The Dan Hill.
I think Dan's dead.
Oh, probably.
Dan's dead, baby. Dan's dead.
Is he dead? Because I don't know how he died.
Dead.
He had a few songs.
Canadian singer.
He did that song, Sometimes When We Touch.
Was that him?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Sounds like the same voice.
Now I got Tropic Thunder in my head.
Right?
Hey, Tugger Nuts. You know.
Why do we always hurt the ones we love? That's another song he did. And sometimes we do. Those are the only ones I recognize from him.
Yeah, I was fixing to say. I always thought he was a one-hit wonder for that one right there.
And the song he did right here, Dan Hill, It's a Long Road, First Blood, 1982.
Mhm.
And of course, this is one more of the films that came out in 1982. 82 is a powerful year. 82, 84, 86, and 87 had some great movies.
That's why people watch 80s movies.
In fact,
Great
the
time to be alive.
the first movie of the 80s really was Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That was 83. That was my senior
No,
year.
that's Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that's right. 80.
Empire
80,
came
yeah.
out in 80.
Yeah, Empire. Mhm.
And it kind of launched the 80s. Star Wars did. Star Wars wasn't a 70s movie anymore. It was now an 80s film. Then Return of the Jedi came out, and I was less impressed with that one. He went too commercial for me.
Still to this day, my favorite movie experience going to the theater, though.
Which one? Empire?
Yeah. No, Return. Return.
Oh, Return.
I went and saw it down in Metairie, Louisiana. Of course, it was when you couldn't get advance tickets. You had to be there. My aunt, who was in the National Guard down there, dropped me off at 6:30 in the morning. There was already 80 people out there. Somebody had a bootleg copy because back then it took 3 to 4 years for a movie to come out on VHS. And somebody had a bootleg version of Empire Strikes Back playing on a TV. That was the first time I'd ever seen a bootleg movie before. I just graduated high school, and I heard somebody yelling my name, and I'm down in Metairie, which is South Louisiana. I don't live down there. And I look up at the front of the line, and there's a bunch of guys that went to leadership school right here at Barksdale Air Force Base, up at the front of the line. They had come up to Barksdale to go to leadership school, and they knew me because I was the honor graduate at that school, right? And ended up at the front of the line. Look, every time one of the characters came on the screen, this is why I go opening day to most things I'm a fan of, because you're with other fans. I mean, it's just something awesome. The shared experience is great. Every time there was one of the characters showed up on the screen the first time, people cheered. And when Darth, scooped and scored with the Emperor there, man, I mean, popcorn flew up. It was crazy. That place exploded. It really did. It was best movie experience I've ever had at the theater. I'm not saying it's the best movie I've ever seen, but that was the best movie going experience I ever had.
My best, I had two of them. Going to see The Sting.
Oh, wow.
Because at the end of the movie, the audience stood and applauded.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really nice, expensive theater with chandeliers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And people, you wore a tie. It was one of those kind of places in DC. But then the next one was I got to see a sneak preview of Raiders.
Oh, wow.
It was a midnight showing on a Thursday. You go see the movie. You pay to see Manhunt with Charles Bronson and Lee Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to stay and watch a sneak preview of Raiders.
Wow.
And so I stuck around. And it was just a handful of people in there. But people in that audience lost their fucking minds when he shot the Arab.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Imagine.
People were screaming, clapping.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy. And it makes me, when I think back on it, it's like, if fans had control over movie theaters, that would have been one of those rewind that shit.
Right.
You see that again.
Show it again.
Moments.
Yep.
But Rambo, First Blood is some interesting stuff. Like I said before, David Morrell claimed later that he prefers the movie over his book.
Hey, sometimes the movie
He actually
improves on the story. It does, really does.
Let's see. I'm trying to find, because the crazy part is how this happened, because the story got written. He wrote the story, and it got optioned very early in the 70s. And right after he wrote it, because I think he wrote it in 72. And by 74, they were optioning it. And some of the actors that were looked at for playing Clint Eastwood as Troutman, Burt Lancaster, as well as his buddy Kirk Douglas. Trying to remember. I'm looking for it in the. I know it's in here.
Clint Eastwood as Stroudman makes no sense because there is no way Rambo is not going to make Clint Eastwood.
No, I didn't say that. I said Clint Eastwood was supposed to be Rambo.
I was fixing to say that didn't sound
Lancaster was looking to play Troutman.
Mm-hmm.
Al Pacino was one that was considered.
Pacino.
I've got a list here.
Rock Hudson. He was one of the first persons that they approached, Rock Hudson, to play Troutman. Let's see. I'm going through the list. Lee Marvin.
I could see.
Lee Marvin was another one.
Yeah.
And the only reason he did not want to play the part is he refused to play officers.
There you go. He's a working man, right?
He only wanted to play enlisted men.
Work for a living. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was not a fan of officers. I told that story before. Him and John Badham, the guy who directed Excalibur and all that.
Right.
He made a few films with Lee, and they were close friends. Mm-hmm. And they were at an airport, and it was towards the tail end of the Vietnam War, and this full bird colonel with the egg yolk on his hat comes walking up, and his assistant, what do they call them? Not adjutant. I forget what they're called. He walks up to Mr. Marvin. He says, "Mr. Marvin, the colonel would really like to meet you." And so Lee just sort of lifted his hat up because he was trying to snooze, lifted his hat up and looked up at him. And the officer walked up and tried to say something to him. And Lee just snatches the hat from under his arm and puts it in his mouth and starts trying to eat the eggs off of the bill. And this officer just stops dead in his tracks and just is terrified. What's going on? Doesn't understand what's happening here. And then Lee takes the hat, puts it on, and then drops it back down and pretends to go back to sleep. Damn. And the officer just walks away confused. And then about 15 minutes later, this adjutant, whatever he was, young officer, or might have been enlisted, came up and says, "I'm sorry, sir, but the colonel is really beside himself. Could he please have his hat back?" Lee Marvin handed the soldier his hat back. Lee Marvin hated officers. Hated them. He was a seasoned combat Marine, man.
I don't know. Did you have problems with authority in the Army? I know
none
I did.
whatsoever. But I found, I've told this story before about we're out on the tarmac there at McClellan Air Force Base, PMCSing one of our vehicles. And we're at a wet bub level 4, where you may as well be wearing civilian clothes. Do you remember the wet bub count when you're in hot areas?
No.
That's where if it hits a certain point, you don't have to wear your boots. You get to unblouse and just wear your t-shirt to the point where you're allowed to just basically wear tennis shoes, unblouse your pants, and you got a t-shirt on and no cover. Mm-hmm. We're out there working on this vehicle, cleaning it up. And I got my guys out there. They're sitting down while I'm still under the hood. And I hear something coming towards me. Hear those hard-soled shoes on that tarmac. And I looked underneath, and I just said, "Morning, Lieutenant." And I went on about my business. And he did an about face and came back at me fast, snap to. And I grabbed a cheesecloth to wipe my hands with. And he says, "Do you have a problem with authority, soldier?" And I looked at him, and I have no rank on me. Mm-hmm. Nothing. You don't know what I am. Mm-hmm. And I just decided I'm going to fuck with this reservist fucking. You can always fuck reservist.
Was he a butter bar? Or
he was a butter bar. He's got his wrinkled fucking
they
uniform.
Have got a huge chip.
His hat's all cockeyed and squished. Yeah. This guy was just hungry for his fucking salute. Right. So I decided to fuck with him. Now, I didn't say anything other than, "No, I don't have a problem with authority, Second Lieutenant. Do you?" And I just looked at him. Mm-hmm. And he all of a sudden was like, "Oh, shit. Oh, shit." I'm talking to somebody that's higher ranking than me. He snapped to and he goes, "I'm sorry, sir." And I said, "As you were, Lieutenant." And he walked away. And I turned and looked at my guys, and this happened quite often because I would just fuck with people. And they're like, how do you get away with it? And that's what they said. I turned around and they're all like staring at me and they're like, how do you do that? I said, 1, don't care. 2, always act with authority.
Always act like you're supposed to be there. Yeah.
Always act like you're supposed to be here. I don't get into trouble because I always look like I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing. Even when I'm fucking off. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that's great.
I like messing with those reservists, though, man.
Especially butter bars, man. Oh my God. There's nothing worse than a butter bar with a chip on his shoulder. Good Lord. Ugh.
I even messed with a reservist drill instructor once. It was funny. Even my senior drill instructor is like, I can't believe you did that to him. Because the guy walked up to me and he thought he was going to like get me. We were sitting outside the armory. And we're just, my squad's in a circle around me. I'm just standing there. We're waiting for when we get called up to go get our weapons and our ammo. And I look over and here comes this reservist drill instructor, a black dude from Louisiana. And he walked up to me and he says, "You're Private Kissel, right?" "Yes, Drill Sergeant." He says, "You're married? Have a kid?" I went, "Yes, Drill Sergeant." "You got any pictures?" And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is this guy asking me these questions? Like, why is he trying to be like my buddy or something? What is there's something going on here. There's something going on here. And I was suspicious of this guy immediately. So I went, yeah. So I pulled out my army wallet, rip it up because it's Velcro, you know. Rip that Velcro military wallet open. And I show a picture of actually my girlfriend and my son. And Patty's gorgeous and my son's so handsome. You know, and he's like, yeah, I got a girlfriend. You want to see a picture of my girlfriend? I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on here with this guy? And I went, sure, Drill Sergeant. So he pulls out his wallet, rips it open, pulls out a photo of the single most butt fucking ugly woman I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I swear to God, she not only she ate the ugly stick, shit it out, ate it again, and then decided to eat the tree. She is so fucking ugly. She had a face this wide and a nose about as wide, just fucking ugly. And
he shaved her down and taught her to speak in the words.
And it's something that happens when somebody shows me something that is repugnant. My head goes back a little, and my head went back a little bit, and I went, "Oh shit! Think quick! You got to say something nice. And I went, "That's a great photo."
There you go.
And then he says, "That's my sister." Now I'm pondering. I said, "Now you opened up to tell me you're going to show me a picture of your girlfriend. And you show me this butt fucking ugly woman and then tell me it's your sister." So I did something that nobody expected. And it freaked my squad out when I did it. I said, "Oh, so that's how it is in your family." And the look on his face went blank, and he did this with his lips.
Yeah.
And his eyes, I can't do it. His eyes got really big and his lips puckered like that, and like in a little bow. And I did this. I put my hands in a diamond shape and I said, "You just want me to drop and beat my face now?" And he goes, No, we're good. All right. And he walked away. And I watched him walk away, and it looked like a guy trying to figure out where he went wrong.
Yeah.
Because he had that look on his face like, where did I go wrong? I think he had something planned to fuck with me, and it didn't work.
Yeah. You blew it up.
And then I turned and looked at my squad. Kyle Fisher, right there, center. He's still a friend of mine to this day. He's sitting in there all like this. And I did the great Mary Poppins quote. I said, "Close your mouths. We're not codfish."
Right?
And they were always like that. You know, my squad was always like that. Like, how do you get away with this shit? I don't know. It's just fun. I love the military, man. I had a great experience.
I did too. I did too. Johnson Island put me off of doing a career, though. Because I had heard through the grapevine, if you spent a year out there and didn't knock somebody out, you know, get in trouble, that if you stayed in, went to PLDC, got your NCO status, you were coming back eventually. And I was like, no, once is enough for me. Thank you.
What kind of
Yeah,
an
I know,
asshole
like-
plays a picture of an ugly bitch trying to set people up? You'd be surprised.
I got to tell you, there was a joke that was in my head that I've pondered many a time why I didn't make it. Was like, why was her face so flat and wide? Is it because you've been sitting on it for so long? But she was pan-faced. It was just crazy how ugly she was. But anyway, no, I had a problem, John. I've had a problem with my filter for years until I hit my 30s. And then I went, you got to stop this. Because I've been fired multiple times from jobs, and every single time I was fired, it was because of something I said. I would say something that I thought was funny and relevant, that I realized I'm the only one that thought that was funny. The person I just said it to took total offense to what I just said.
Well, got you beaten. I blew up a job interview.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, do you want the story? The guys,
that's what you're doing. You're setting up a story. Tell the
Okay.
story.
the guy is telling me how they make their databases and how they use all the incorrect software and methods to do that. And I'm just saying, so you're trying to use a screw with a hammer, and that's it. The look on his face told me interview's over.
Jobs over. Yeah, I shut a guy down one time because I didn't want a job. I was asked to go there by Charlie because he liked it when we worked together. And the guy looked at me during the interview. He says, "Why do you want to work for Holiday Inn?" I said, "Well, it's not that I want to work for Holiday Inn. It's just I was
like
asked
eating.
to come here." And I pissed him off. And I was being honest. And I was like, then afterward, I went, I think I pissed him off. I probably shouldn't have said that. I have a filter now. There are many times that people say things to me. I will sit there and you'll see me like blink like this a couple times. This is me deciding not to say it.
Oh, look, I've just noticed when I pop up the comments, you look like you're in Rambo's body.
Yeah.
Man,
would.
you are jacked, Gary.
It's from all that gerbling I did.
Yeah, it only cost him some inches, maybe a feet.
Oh man.
By the way, the reason I said that is because, Stallone is supposedly the person who started that shit with Richard Gere.
Really?
Spreading that rumor.
Wow.
Because of that incident they had in the Lords of Flatbush.
Yeah.
And he hated fucking Richard Gere from that day forward. And he's notorious for fucking with people. Just, that. The story between him and Schwarzenegger is a good example of them fucking with each other all the time. Although, personally, I think Arnold was smarter and did far more fucking with Stallone than Stallone did with him.
If you've ever seen Pumping Iron, the documentary about the weightlifters back then.
Oh, I've seen it. I have.
Schwarzenegger is one of the most driven and intelligent and smart dudes you'll ever see.
You know what broke my heart in that movie? Lou
Go.
Ferrigno's dad.
Yeah. And Schwarzenegger almost comes off like a villain in that movie because he's trying to win a competition and he eats breakfast with Ferrigno and his parents and he's fucking with Ferrigno the entire time.
Fucks with him the whole time, right in front of his own dad.
Right
and
in
his
front of his dad. I mean,
his dad is stroking his
He got
ego.
into his head so bad, Oh, God. Wow.
Hey, Jedi Bill here popped in at the end.
We have this question. Well,
Maybe.
Might be something like that. Might be.
Maybe.
I prefer hamsters.
I think Anima.
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, right. I think we lost Anima at some point there in the third act.
I think we did.
He is on mute.
No, I'm here.
Okay. Because I think some people would like to know what you thought of the film.
I enjoyed watching it. I don't have much to say about it.
You liked it, though.
I liked it, yeah.
Do you feel that he is more heroic at the end because of the fact he didn't kill anybody and went out of his way to try to just make a point,
I don't know.
stand his ground?
I think he did the right thing.
He stood up to. It wasn't that he was standing up to authority; he was standing up to wrong authority. And this is the problem we have today, because, like, we're told that comply with law enforcement. We are told to do that, and I have to tell you, 99.9%, I concur with that. But there is that 1%. I have a problem with law enforcement and their overreaction to things, and you see it all the time. You've seen it, Joe. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Look,
where they're
that's where the whole
trampling
week ago
all
now,
over
no doubt.
somebody's constitutional rights, and they just don't seem to care. It's, are you fucking with me? And then it becomes something personal to them. And
Yeah,
it's what you see in this movie.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because it becomes something personal, and it talks about that. And it's a problem we have, and it's a problem I have with officers that are acting like policemen, but instead acting like jackboots.
The sheriff said something again that twice, that he is the law,
And
which is not
that's
true.
not the case.
Yeah.
He's-
Policemen are
he's the law
upholders of the
enforcer.
law.
He is
They are
not
not
the
the
law.
law. That's
Yeah.
right. They're enforcers of the law. Does anyone know how to edit videos with Power Director editing software? I need help. Jedi, I use Vegas Pro, and I know how to use Adobe. I don't know how to use Power Director. I've never used it before. Get with me after the show, though. Maybe I can still help you.
I used
I'd be
DaVinci.
glad to.
It's pretty user friendly. It's free.
And Jedi Bill, I hope you're out there promoting Vindicated Inc.
But yeah, one of the problems with law enforcement these
Jedi
days
Bill-
is the
A lot of people
militarization of it.
respect Jedi Bill, and I'd love it if he supported my book.
Yeah.
Verbally and everything. I was making fun of Ferrigno on the. Hey, I actually told him a joke to his face. I showed him a cartoon I did of him, where he's sitting in a chair and a guy walks up to him and he goes, "Lou, I just went to see this movie called The Artist. It's a modern silent film. They shot it with the original camera and stock film from the period. An actual silent movie made today." And it goes a panel where there's nothing being said. And then finally in the last panel, Lou Ferrigno looks at him and says, and I did the voice, I said, "Every movie is silent to me, you fucking idiot." And I made Lou laugh. Lou thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Every movie is silent to me, you fucking idiot.
I don't see how, Happy Bunny.
Why did I think this was going to be a Rambo gameplay stream? I don't know. Happy Bunny, I don't know. I've met Lou. I worked with him on the movie Liberator.
He seems like a sweetheart.
Oh, he's fucking nice. My daughter was like really starstruck with him, getting to meet him. And he wrote very nice, and he liked my artwork, and he signed a book for her. And she's a big Lou Ferrigno fan, but the person she's a big fan of is I just forgot his name, the black guy from Ghostbusters, Ernie Hudson.
Yeah,
she's a big Ernie Hudson fan. So when she got to meet him, I had to embarrass her in front of him. But she was just like, she just kept going over to his table to talk to him during the show. It was adorable. My daughter's so cute. Yeah, I wouldn't say I was making fun of Lou. I was really making him kind of the hero of the cartoon, but I guess there is a little bit of humor in the joking with, that he was deaf. And I did the voice to Lou, and Lou thought that was funny because he could hear me because he already had the cochlear implants when I did that. And I wasn't aware of that until I talked to him. I can't hear. He still talks this way,
Yeah.
But that's, he doesn't know how. You can't unlearn that.
No, you can't.
Not without a lot of training.
The guy that had that done, and it really changed his life. He could hear us a lot better, but he still talked.
He'll still talk that way.
Yeah,
it's sort of like learning to lose an accent, because there are guys that were trained to help actors, like Rutger Hauer went through that. But Arnold was offered that, and he denied it. He refused it. He wanted to keep his accent. He felt that it made him more distinct, that accent that he had. And he's right.
Made
He's
him
100% right.
Signature.
Producers said, it'll never work. And an actor told him that too. That accent, you got to get rid of it. That's his signature.
Proof's in the pudding, boys and girls. Made the right decision.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
No.
Having no accent at all.
I still don't know what he just said, but it sounded sexy.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Welcome, my brother warrior, vindicated. Martin, can you send Jedi Bill an invite to join us after the show? Because I'll talk to him real quick. I can't talk to him very long.
I don't think we are following each other.
I know I'm following him, so let me see if I can find it. Invite. Copy.
Well, I got to get going, guys.
Let's go ahead and end the show here. Jedi Bill, I'll send you an invite. Or I'll just put it here. I'm just going to put it in the chat. Fuck it. There you go. Paste. It's in the public chat. Boom. Join us. I'll talk to you real quick, but I can't stick around because I got a appointment coming up. So
Monday is now my new busiest day of the week. So
what day?
Monday. Yeah, I got to do Brian's show at 4, and my brother and I do our show at 6 now instead of Thursdays. So yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to be YouTube man from dusk till dawn on Mondays now.
Have you beaten, my friend? I have 3 on Fridays.
Yep.
3 on Fridays. So, well, in the immortal words of some crazy Scotsman friend of mine,
that's it. Show's over.
We'll be back next week with Sicario.